1. Rear-discharge concrete mixer. The first type is the truck most people imagine when they hear the word cement truck. It's the rear-discharge concrete mixer. This truck carries a large rotating drum mounted on the back of the chassis. Inside the drum are spiral-shaped blades that continuously mix the concrete. The truck usually receives a measured mixture of cement, water, sand, and aggregate at a batching plant. Once loaded, the drum keeps rotating while the truck travels to the construction site. Why? Because concrete can't simply sit still for a long time. Continuous rotation helps keep the mixture properly blended and prevents the heavier aggregate from settling too quickly. When the truck reaches the site, the operator reverses the drum. The internal blades then move the concrete toward the rear opening. From there, the concrete flows through a discharge chute and directly into the foundation, slab footing, or other structure. The biggest advantage of the rear discharge mixer is simplicity. It's relatively easy to operate, widely available, and works with almost every type of construction project. 2. Front discharge concrete mixer. Now move the discharge system from the back to the front and you get the front discharge mixer. At first glance, it looks unusual because the truck's drum is still behind the cab, but the concrete exits from the front. Why would anyone want that? Because it gives the driver much better control over where the concrete is delivered. The operator can drive forward toward the pouring location and position the discharge chute without constantly backing the truck around the construction site. This can be especially useful on crowded construction projects where space is limited. Many front discharge mixers also use advanced controls that allow the operator to position the chute from inside the cab. That means one person can often control both the truck and the discharge operation. For large American construction projects, this can save time and reduce the amount of maneuvering required. 3. Standard transit mixer. Next is the transit mixer. This is one of the most common concrete delivery trucks in the world. A transit mixer is designed specifically to transport freshly mixed or partially mixed concrete from a batching plant to a job site. The important part is timing. Concrete has a limited working window. If the truck gets stuck in traffic or spends too long waiting at a site, the mixture can become difficult to place and finish. That's why transit mixers are constantly moving between concrete plants and construction projects. You'll see them supplying everything from residential foundations to highways, bridges, warehouses, apartment buildings, and skyscrapers. The truck itself may look simple, but it's essentially a mobile extension of the concrete plant. 4. Volumetric concrete mixer. Now things get much more interesting. A volumetric concrete mixer doesn't simply transport finished concrete. Instead, it carries the individual ingredients separately. Inside the truck are separate compartments for materials such as cement, sand, aggregate, and water. The truck uses onboard equipment to measure these ingredients and mix concrete when it's needed. This gives the operator a major advantage. Instead of producing one large batch at a concrete plant, the truck can produce the required amount directly at the construction site. Need 5 cubic yards? Make 5. Need a little more? Mix more. That flexibility can reduce material waste. It is particularly useful for smaller construction projects, remote locations, repair work, and jobs where the exact amount of concrete needed is difficult to predict. In a traditional mixer, you're transporting concrete. With a volumetric mixer, you're essentially transporting a mobile concrete factory. 5. Agitator truck. Another specialized vehicle is the concrete agitator truck. It looks similar to a traditional mixer, but its primary purpose is keeping already produced concrete moving and workable during transportation. The drum rotates continuously, but the mixing action can be different from what happens inside a traditional batching process. The truck's job is mainly to prevent the concrete from separating or settling while it travels. This makes agitator trucks particularly useful when concrete needs to travel significant distances between the production facility and the job site. They are common in large-scale construction where timing and consistency are critical. 6. Concrete pump truck. Now we move from trucks that transport concrete to trucks that can actually place it. This is the concrete pump truck. Instead of simply dumping concrete through a chute, this vehicle uses a powerful pumping system to move concrete through large pipes. And mounted above the truck is something that makes it instantly recognizable: a massive hydraulic boom. The boom can unfold into multiple sections and reach over buildings, walls, roads, and other obstacles. Once positioned, concrete is pumped through the boom and discharged exactly where workers need it. This is extremely useful for tall buildings and large construction projects. Imagine trying to drive a concrete mixer directly next to a 20-story building. That's obviously impossible. A pump truck can stay on the street while sending concrete through its boom hundreds of feet into the construction area. It turns a difficult concrete delivery problem into a relatively controlled operation. 7. Line pump truck. But what if you don't need a giant boom? That's where the line pump comes in. A line pump is smaller and more compact than a boom pump. Instead of using a large articulated boom, it pushes concrete through flexible or rigid pipes connected manually to the pump. Workers can route these hoses around buildings, through narrow spaces, or across difficult terrain. This makes line pumps especially useful for smaller projects. They can be used for foundations, swimming pools, driveways, retaining walls, sidewalks, and other jobs where a massive boom isn't necessary. The truck may be smaller, but the pumping system can still move large quantities of concrete. 8. Self-loading concrete mixer. Now imagine combining a concrete mixer with a loader. That's essentially what a self-loading concrete mixer does. Instead of depending completely on a separate loading machine, this vehicle has its own loading bucket. The operator can collect aggregate, load the materials into the mixing drum, add cement and water, and produce concrete directly at the job site. Many of these machines are also highly maneuverable. Some can rotate their mixing drums and discharge concrete in multiple directions. That makes them extremely useful for remote construction projects where a traditional concrete plant may be far away. They're commonly used on smaller infrastructure projects, rural construction, road repairs, and sites where mobility is more important than maximum production volume. 9. Mini concrete mixer truck. Not every construction project needs a massive highway-sized mixer. That's where mini concrete mixer trucks come in. These smaller trucks are designed for projects where access is limited. Think narrow residential streets, small driveways, landscaping projects, repair work, and urban construction sites. A full-size mixer might struggle to reach the location. A compact mixer can get much closer. That means less manual transportation of concrete and less time spent moving material with wheelbarrows or other equipment. Small doesn't always mean less useful. Sometimes the biggest advantage is simply being able to fit where a larger truck can't. 10. Specialized concrete delivery trucks. Finally, there are specialized concrete trucks designed for specific environments and applications. Some are built with larger drums for high-volume projects. Others use compact chassis for urban construction. Some are designed for difficult terrain, while others are customized for extremely cold or hot environments. There are also specialized systems designed to deliver concrete into areas where normal trucks cannot easily operate. The basic goal remains the same: get the right concrete to the right place at the right time. And depending on the project, that might require a completely different type of truck. These aren't just trucks carrying concrete. They're mobile machines that help turn raw materials into the structures we use every day. And that's what makes the world of concrete trucks far more interesting than it first appears. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy videos about trucks, heavy machinery, construction equipment, and incredible machines, subscribe for more vehicle explainers.